Hi, readers. This is Two Tickets For. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're trying something a little bit different tonight. As you may have read above this video, we're going to try and start doing video blog reviews of movies that have come out on DVD or Blu-ray that we didn't get a chance to see in theaters. Make it a little bit shorter, a little more succinct, and of course a little more interactive as you actually get to see us and hear our voices instead of just reading our conversations. So, Sarah, the first movie that we tried this with was Shame, starring Michael Fassbender and Carey Mulligan.
Yes, this movie had an NC-17 rating, so it didn't open wide ever in the theaters. It was in very select theaters around the country and the world, actually. And it's pretty obvious straight off the bat when we started this movie why it got an NC-17. A lot of full frontal nudity by men and women right off the bat.
Right off the bat. And then later on, it's quite explicit, so yes. Very obvious why it was NC-17. And the thing is, I really think it's a bit of a shame, no pun intended, that it wasn't able to be in theaters a little bit more, because this was a powerhouse performance by Michael Fassbender. I mean, he's been doing great the last couple of years with X-Men First Class, A Dangerous Method, Prometheus this year, but man, compared to all those, this movie, he's just, seriously, it's serious method acting, and
yes.
I'm very surprised he didn't get nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, and, and with all of his blockbusters, he's garnered this huge fame, and then, he does something like this, which is a small, very art film, but yeah, very surprising that he didn't get the nomination, possibly because of the limited opening. Also, as you mentioned, like the method acting, I actually found this movie to be very similar to The Black Swan. It had that feel to it, that kind of ominous feel.
With Natalie Portman?
With Natalie Portman, yes. Had that very dark, ominous feel. The music played a very, very important role in the movie, just as it did in Black Swan. And you really... There are other characters, obviously. You got Carey Mulligan as the sister, the troubled sister. But very intense focus on the main character. Michael Fassbender's character is a sex-addicted man who is really struggling with the shame of this addiction, and just the sheer anguish on his face in most of the scenes is quite impressive.
Yeah, it's a burning underneath the layer, first layer of his skin, and he's kind of seething underneath. And you're right, it shows in every scene, in his smile, the creases of his face, even though he's only 35, he kind of looks older than that in this film, like it's taken a toll on him. So, comparing it to Black Swan is a pretty good comparison. And again, between both movies, the main character kind of has a downward spiral. In Black Swan, Natalie Portman's so obsessed with becoming this prima ballerina, whereas in Shame, Fassbender and his sister, honestly, I didn't catch her name, but he calls her Sissy. So both of them have self-destructive behavior that ultimately, comes to a head for both of them. And it was interesting to watch both performers at the top of their games, show that slow build-up of where eventually it's going to overflow. And they both killed it.
Exactly. I would have to agree. Can't necessarily say that I liked this movie, but I don't think that you're meant to come out of this movie and going, yes, I love that movie. It was very much a study for an actor, and it was quite impressive. But yeah, I can't really say that I liked it.
See, I did like it, and it was completely for a reason that I wasn't expecting. I expected to like it because of Fassbender, and I did. But I also loved the way that Steve McQueen shot this movie. A lot a lot of uninterrupted takes. We timed it at one point. There's a fantastic dinner scene where Fassbender's Brandon is going out on a date with a coworker, where it is 6 minutes from when he arrives to the table through the waiter coming to take their order and the banter between them, completely uninterrupted. And I was fascinated by watching Fassbender and the other actress have to, really communicate and pretend, this entire time, no breaks, and there were a lot of shots like that. A nice tracking shot of Brandon going for a run, where he ran at least 6 blocks down, New York City's 39th Street, where it was completely uninterrupted. So there were a lot of those shots, and I loved it. And you mentioned the music. I thought the music was great. It sounded classical, and it was in complete contrast to what I was expecting.
Yeah, and I would agree with all of that. I just don't. I mean, those were amazing things. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think that this was a movie that you're meant to.
It's not
love.
One that we're gonna go. Let's pop it in,
pop it
and
in
watch
for
a movie
fun,
for the night.
Yeah, for a fun Friday night.
It's definitely
movie.
not that.
No.
But if you're, a film buff and acting and just in general, the technical aspects of this and the just the performances by Mulligan and Fassbender totally make it worth it.
Yeah.
So I mean, on our scale, I guess.
From a movie standpoint, from the well-madness of the movie to the acting to everything, I would probably have to give this movie a 5.
5 out of 5?
A 5 out of 5. It was just a powerhouse performance, and it is quite a shame, once again, that he did not get nominated.
Yes.
For Best Actor. But,
I'm not quite sure we'll own it someday, but I'm glad we definitely saw it, and I wish we'd been able to see it in theaters. But I would agree. I'd give it a 5 out of 5 as well.
So thanks for checking us out on our first attempt at vlogging. Yes. We will definitely be bringing more of these to you. And
let us know what you think.
Yes.
Let us know if this was too long or if it was just right. That sort of thing. So hopefully we'll be doing more of these. We love your feedback to know how many more to try and do. And as always, thank you for your readership and viewership now.
And be ready for a couple more movie reviews coming this weekend. Have a great Wednesday.
Bye.